Okay, 2012 Hyundai Accent, and about ready to take off the front tires. It's got a rattle. I've replaced the sway bar, the end links, and the struts, and a lot of things, but never got to the sway bar bushings. So here we go. Okay, got the wheels off. That was easy, of course, because when I put them back on last time, I put some grease back in here, and the last clowns that replaced the tires stripped out one of these studs, and that is a real pain to replace, but that's a different video. NTB. Oops, I didn't say that. Anyway, here we go. We're going to remove this, I don't know what you call that, stabilizer link, and that should be easy because I replaced those just a year or two ago. So I'm just going to take off, let's just take off the bottom end. All right, taking off the stab link. That's a 17 millimeter on the back, the wrench, and the 18 socket on the front. There we go, other side. Okay, call me crazy, but that sway bar was rock solid, so I took off the stab links, and I'm going to just take this thing for a test drive without the stab links connected, see if I get the same rattle. Okay, pretty bumpy road. I just removed the stabilizer links, and problem solved. All I had to do was throw those away. There we go, quick fix. But I just put those in maybe a year ago, so I know they're solid. Must be the stabilizer bar bushings. I'll tell you, that felt really pretty solid. So call me crazy, but I'm going to replace them, see what happens. Okay, going to start removing the bolts on the, what do you call it, grommet? I don't know. Right there. It's a pretty good tool for this. Uh-oh, I just lost it. Okay, going over to the right side, and there's this like strange little plate right above it. I don't know if I need to remove that or not. I think I'm gonna remove that plate because that other nut is just in the way. You see that at all? Right? There's the grommet. There's a bolt, and then there's like a stud with a nut on it, and then there's this plate. I don't know what the plate does really, but it's coming off. Okay, much to my amazement, and that nice tool right there, I was able to just unscrew that bolt on there, and the nut that was back in there. You know, there's a plate. I removed a 10 millimeter bolt on that plate and gently pushed it up. It's anchored down with another big old bolt on the other end, which obviously goes into something. I didn't want to mess with that. Anyway, this came apart pretty nice. All right, so there's the bracket. I don't see an arrow on it, but I'm just going to set it that way so it goes back on the same way. And I started to pull this guy apart. It just comes right off. I mean, nothing to it. Look at that. It's going to pop right off. All right, well, that's the old one sitting there, and I got the new one, which put grease in it. Get the good stuff mode. Hear that? I got to put it on. Okay, so I just put the nut and the bolt on there, kind of finger tight. Leave it loose to get the other side in. I noticed in my bracket there's a little slot in the back side. Okay, I just slid back on the driver's side. Just slid that one on. Here's the bracket. It's got a little bit of a elongated, see that? Slot in the back. Okay, let's tighten this guy up. The one up here, if I can find it. Okay, time for a road test. This is my favorite bumpy street that I use for suspension issues. And can you hear that? I think it's coming from the right side. So we are not out of the woods. We still have some clunking, but it's better. It's different. Those old sway bar bushings were definitely wallered out. I could, just line the two up, compare the diameters inside, and they were worn, no doubt about it. So I think that's a big step forward. I've replaced the struts previously, about a year ago, and also the sway bar links. And now we got sway bar bushings. I'm thinking it's either lower ball joint or just that whole A-arm on the right side. So we are not quite there yet. Okay, took the wheel back off, got it on a jack stand on one side, and took the load off of the wheel by that arrangement you see there with a piece of wood, and I just started moving things around, and I think I found it. I don't think that, you see it? That thing right there is tight. If I just grab it with my hand, I can make it. I don't think I got that thing tightened up all the way. Okay, here we are back again on my favorite bumpy road that I use for testing suspension problems. And you know what? It was not a loose tie rod end because I had that thing perfectly tight, but it was bad. You know, I replaced it, I'm thinking a year ago, maybe two, can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I could, as I was moving that, as you just saw, well, if you listen now, that totally fixed it. I replaced that stabilizer link. And all is good. We are definitely out of the woods. Done with this project. Gonna wash this car up, give it back to my daughter, and we are good to go. So if you liked the video, if it helped you at all, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I guess the words of advice I have in closing is, if you're going to take off the stabilizer links, just replace them, no matter what. And go with the good ones. Go with Moog or Import Direct. And the other thing I thought was kind of interesting, when I removed the links altogether and drove it around, the sound went away completely. Now, of course, you don't want to drive like that too much because your car might roll over. That's what sway bars do, keep it from rolling over. That's it. Thanks. Bye. And here it is with new hubcaps. Looks a lot better.